Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Let's start our video with a story in which our OP taught a lesson to hipsters who were littering in the neighborhood. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Revenge on uppity Litterbug. I live on a bohemian block in a gentrified part of town in a hipster-friendly city. Today, I was walking up the avenue in pursuit of some delicious Chinese food when I saw a young woman gluing signs to the street poles. This is a common occurrence as nearly every wall, lamppost, and bus stop are adorned with band notices, community outreach, and non sequiturs. This particular distributor was peeling off previous flyers and gluing hers in their place, except she was letting the discarded paper blow off in the wind, littering the streets. To make matters worse, there was a trash can on the corner no more than 10 feet away from her, so I walked past and reminded her and her mates that littering is doing a disservice to the neighborhood, and it's something we should all be mindful of. I pointed to the trash can and asked if she could pitch in next time, and her response was, yeah, later. Well, that just rustled my jimmies. I told her she should stop for the day because I'll be ripping down every paper she posts and placing it in the proper bin. She didn't like that. So after getting my food, I walked down the block, tearing up every paper that she posted and balled them up in the trash. As I got to my house, she noticed from across the street and yelled out, "Hey man, what's your effing problem?" And this is how the conversation went from there. Me: at the moment, litter's my problem. "Hey, I'm just trying to raise awareness. You don't have to be a jerk about it." "And I was just trying to raise your awareness about the trash problem in this city, and you were in fact being a jerk about it." "Screw you." Who says this? Nazi. See, my case in point. I called you out, and you could have said, "Whoops, sorry, I'll do better next time," but you didn't. You replied in a condescending, dismissive tone, something that's quite prevalent with your generation. Now, I've made my point, and if I see you littering again, I'm going to take you to task. Again, F off and have a nice day. The look on her face warmed me up on this brisk East Coast afternoon. And our second story. Triple time? How dare you let me schedule you for triple time? Several years ago, I worked as a security guard for a large U.S. defense contractor. The guards were company employees, not contractors. Guards protected several offices 24/7, so this meant shift work and weekend work. I worked evenings 4 p.m. to midnight from Sunday through Thursday with Friday and Saturday off. I did some digging on company policy regarding non-standard work weeks. The policy was confusing, but for me it worked like this. Since my normal work week wasn't the standard Monday through Friday, the company shifted my work days to appear like Monday through Friday. My Monday was Sunday, my Tuesday was Monday, etc. This was important on U.S. holiday weeks. Per policy, on weeks when Monday was a holiday, I got paid holiday for my Monday, meaning I was paid holiday pay on Sunday. 2 additional notes. 1. Overtime was paid at time and a half normal pay for over 8 hours to 12 hours, and at 2 times normal pay for anything over 12 hours. Holiday pay was paid at 1.5 times normal pay on top of that. 2. We held our own time cards during the week and turned them into the personnel office so supervisors didn't see them until after they were processed. My supervisor understood the overtime bit but couldn't wrap his head around the My Monday part. He'd had it explained, but it didn't sink in. One holiday week, my supervisor called me on Saturday and asked me to work a double shift on Sunday, come in early, work the 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. shift, and stay for my 4 to 12 shift. I told him that's my Monday and tried to explain the policy, but he didn't understand and dismissed what I was saying. I worked 16 hours on Sunday, my Monday. I turned in my time card for the week showing Sunday pay at 8 hours of time and a half pay, 4 hours of 2 1/4 pay, 4 hours of 3 times pay. He freaked out. He took me to the HR office where HR gently told him that I was right. He was quiet until we left, but when we were alone, he basically said I'd scammed him and that he'd fire me the next time I pulled anything like that. A few months later, the exact same holiday situation came up again. Supervisor called me Saturday and asked me to work a double shift on Sunday. Supervisor: "Can you work the day shift tomorrow? Come in at 8 and work through midnight?" Me: "Sure. My Monday, right?" Supervisor: "Huh?" Me: Sunday's my Monday. Supervisor uncomprehending. Yeah, right, just be there on time. Me, no problem. So I worked 16 hours that Sunday. Before turning in my time card for the week, I called the same HR rep who'd handled the earlier incident. I told her about the supervisor's scheduling and said I was concerned. She thanked me and said she'd be ready. I turned in my time card for the week, Sunday, with 8 hours at time and a half, 4 hours at double time and a quarter, and 4 hours at triple pay. Next Monday morning, the supervisor called me, ranted about me tricking him, and fired me over the phone, effective immediately. I called the HR rep, relayed what just happened. She said to stand by and that she'd make some calls. About noon, I got a call from the manager above my supervisor. We had a long, calm talk, and he told me to show up for work as scheduled. No one ever explained things openly, but the rumor was that the supervisor was told that he'd be the one fired next time he scheduled someone for triple pay on holiday. I kept the job for another year before leaving for unrelated reasons. And our next story. Undo my work behind my back? Enjoy getting out ridiculously late tonight. I work at a big-name pizza place as a delivery driver. We close at 12 a.m., so I started breaking down the make line, where we assembly line make the food. Usually we put all the food onto dough trays and put those on a table in a corner. That way pizza can still be made, if a little awkwardly, and I can start cleaning. This is important each night, but especially during the summer because we get a lot of late orders. So we have to be on the ball cleaning while we're in the store. Food can remain at room temperature for a certain amount of time, and I'm always careful not to leave it out for more than 2 hours. I'd never risk getting someone sick just to get out early. However, tonight I was closing with a new manager. No big deal, it's busy, so we're going to be late anyways. I have accepted my fate. But as she came in, the other manager, LM for leaving manager, told her that we're not allowed to break down the make line until 11:30. It was about 10:30 when I took it apart, so while I was on a delivery, CM put everything back together. I came back and was PO'd. I knew it was LM's work, but he wouldn't fess up to it and left. CM wouldn't admit to it either, so I told her that I was not going to take it apart again tonight. She could. I told her I was upset that someone undid all the work I did, setting me back, making us guaranteed to get out late, and they did it all behind my back instead of coaching me like a manager should. She said she sympathized, but I had to take it apart again at the correct time because it's your job. Oh, hell no, I told her. I'm definitely not doing it. Note, this store is a joke. Employees have stolen money and not gotten fired or even reprimanded, and I'm the store favorite because of how good of a worker I am, so I knew I'd just get a slap on the wrist, at most for the insubordination. But then I got to thinking, she wants to waste my time? I'll waste hers. I did my job at a snail's pace. I cleaned a table, and it took about 15 minutes. And anytime there was a new bit of dirt, oh no, I have to clean it again. I'm just doing my job. Oh no, the wall's dirty. Better clean that too. And the icing on the cake, at 11:20 p.m., I came in from a delivery to find CM had broken down the make line and was cleaning it. Me. It's not 11:30. You're not allowed to break down the make line yet. Oh, he said 10:30, not 11:30, so it's fine. No. He definitely said 11:30, and I've closed with him before, so I know that's his preference. He's your boss, and like you said, he outranks you, so we have to do what he says. It's just 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to do my job, CM. So I put everything back, stopped her from cleaning the area by physically blocking her with my body as I slid by to put the food back. She was fuming. I left on another delivery shortly after, and when I came back, she pulled me into the office. We had a discussion which ended with her helping me clean my area, including being the one to take everything apart again, and me returning to my normal working pace. The damage had already been done. I left at 2:30 a.m., but she ended up leaving at about 3 a.m. for unrelated reasons. And our last story. Worst thing I've done to anyone. This story starts out back about 10 or 12 years ago. I had a pretty good job as a land surveyor, made a good living, life was good. The rodman I had at the time, he had to quit due to health reasons, so I got a brand new helper. All was going okay until he decided to be a complete bee. The job involved covering some pretty rough terrain, a lot of swamps, chopping line in Florida summers, crapload of snakes out. Great job for me, but for this guy, It was a reason to gripe and tell me just how much money he should be getting paid. You know the kind. Well, after a particular cluster F of a job, we had to set a few property corners and get back to the shop. Nope, this guy is too good to stay half an hour later to actually finish a job and proceeds to call his fiancée to come pick him up. By the time she got there to pick him up, I'd went and set the rods by myself. It rather pissed me off. Well, this guy, being the pompous A-hat that he was, had given me his business card for a window tinting thing he did out of his garage a few weeks earlier. He'd also been complaining that his neighbors were gay. Wheels began to turn in my head, and I had a nice little FU plan in no time. After work, I went over to Lillian, Alabama, and found a nice guy on Guy Mag and asked the cashier for a subscription form for it. On the way home, I stopped in a Circle K and got a money order for a 1 year's worth of the mag. With his address from the card and a nighttime drive-by, I got his neighbor's address. I filled it out in his name to his neighbor's address and mailed it in. About a month later, he came to work looking like someone had just kicked his puppy. Boss asked him what was wrong, and even I was not expecting the reply, "My fiancée called it off. She thinks I'm gay." My plan worked a little too well. The neighbors got the mags in his name and went over to give them to him, but she was the one they gave them to. She opened the black plastic, and the crap hit the fan. I was biting the inside of my lips till they bled to keep from laughing, because this big corn-fed country boy would have killed me if he knew I was the reason the love of his life walked out and left him. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.